I read my question. Hello, Sunim. I watching your video. I can guess how busy you are every day. I have been going to church for over 2 years after moving to a new area. I went with a friend, but this year spring, there was a conflict in the church, and the church split into two sides, and half of the people left, and they opened a new church. One or two of the members close to me kept on telling me to come visit their church. They asked me to come just once, but I know that one time is just the beginning to attend that church. I do not belong to any church, and now I am satisfied with the happy school and teachings, and I am learning well. If the people telling me to come to church feel bothers me, please tell me how can I manage my mind calm. And the more I learn about Buddha's teachings, the more I reflect on myself and become humble. And so I love it. I don't want to go to church. That was my question.
네. 뭐 이것은 선택사항입니다.
It's your choice.
뭐 교회 안 가도 괜찮습니다.
It's okay for you not to go to church.
아무 문제도 없습니다.
There's absolutely no problem.
그건 둘 중에 하나의 교회를 선택해서도 가끔 가봐도 됩니다.
Or you can just choose one of the two churches and go there occasionally.
또는 두 교회 다 가봐도 됩니다.
Or you can go to both churches.
나는 그들을 거부할 필요도 없고 묶일 필요도 없습니다.
You don't have to tie down to one, church, nor do you have to deny both churches.
그냥 자유롭게 생활하면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Just be free.
불교 공부를 하면 할수록
The more you study Buddhism,
기독교에 대해서도 좀 마음이 열려야 합니다.
you also have to kind of open your minds up to other religions like Christianity.
또는 무슬림에 대해서도 마찬가지고요.
And same thing with Islam.
좋아하라는 게 아닙니다.
I'm not saying that you have to like it.
그들은 그들대로 특성을 갖고 있기 때문에.
Because each religion and tradition has its own unique nature.
나는 그러나 그것이 나빠서가 아니라 나는 그 선택을 안 하겠다 하는 건 내 자유예요.
But it's up to you because you're free to choose. Not because you don't like the other traditions, but you're free to choose whatever kind of draws you.
이것은 자기가 종교에 문제가 있는 게 아니라 그 교회에 오라고 하는 그 사람들의 문제가 아니라 자기가 그 소리에 지금 묶이고 있는 거예요.
So basically, this is not a problem of your friends or your former kind of churchgoers telling you or asking you to come visit their church. This is the problem that you don't want to hear them, that invitation.
가족이 얘기하거나 친구가 얘기하면 다른 일도 어디 가자거나 어떻게 할 때 이렇게 마음에 걸림이 있는 것과 같습니다.
It's the same thing when you get invited to a party you want to go, you don't want to go, or your family member asks you to do something you don't want to do. You just don't want sometimes.
결국은 어떤 선택을 할 때 인간관계에 대한 좀 놓치고 싶지 않는 그런 마음이 있기 때문에 걸림이 생기는 겁니다.
And you resist, you're hesitant because, you're always kind of calculating, what if I say no, I might lose that relationship or something. It might cause a loss to me.
그들은 나에게 교회 오라 하는 말할 자유가 있고 나는 가고 안 가고를 선택할 자유가 있습니다.
But after all, they have the freedom to invite you to their church and you have the freedom to not go.
그러니까 내 자유가 소중하듯이 그들의 자유도 존중해야 합니다.
So just as your freedom is precious to you, their freedom is precious to them.
얘기하세요.
I understand what you're saying. I didn't say, don't tell me, come to your church. But I just says, refuse nicely. Okay, maybe next time, not this moment. I don't feel like to go right now. Maybe future. I think about it. I all the time say that. But I knew I went to church since I immigrated to USA on and off over 25 years. If I attend one time, they right away welcome me. They are kind, extremely, and then they are looking for what would you like to do, and then let's study Bible study. Why don't you join this volunteer? Why don't you join like a chorus? And they ask me more, and then see you next Sunday. And then they ask more. And if I just go one time and stop, it's kind of, to me, it's foolish because I know I'm not going to go. So I just doesn't want to go to church. And the reason the split is two sides is very complicated. There are 45 years one church member, but one issue they make a split. So I'm just kind of tired of what they're doing. Yesterday, there were like all church member, we are family and brother and sister, and then after conflict, it's become an enemy. And then I don't want to involve that both church. I don't want to go to church. But since I learned the Buddha's teaching, I'm very joyful and find a more peaceful mind. Even I attended the church over 20 years, I never had that feeling. So I don't want to go there. I want to just keep continue learning Buddha's teaching. I think that's more fit to me, my personality, character, and quiet, peaceful. And I just want to stick with this side.
네, 부처님 가르침을 공부하고 마음이 편안해졌다는 거는 좋은 일이에요.
It's a good thing that, studying Buddha's teachings brought you peace in your mind.
그러나 그들이 분열됐다고 해서 마음이 불편하다는 것은 아직 불교 공부가 덜 된 거예요.
But you have not really truly studied deeply yet because you still feel tension from watching the conflict within the church.
분열은 자연 현상이에요.
Conflicts actually and divisions is a natural phenomenon.
같은 유대인에서 유대교도 나오고 기독교도 크리스찬도 나왔잖아요.
You see two different kind of sects emerging from the same kind of Judeo-Christian tradition.
같은 크리스찬에서 캐톨릭도 나오고 프로테스탄트도 나왔잖아요.
And from within the Christianity itself, you see the schism between the Catholicism and Protestantism.
같은 또 그렇죠. 프로테스탄트 안에도 또 무슨 장로파 무슨 파가 나왔잖아요.
And within the same within the same Protestantism, you get Presbyterians, you get Baptists, Episcopalians, you get all different sects.
자기는 하나로 있다가 두 개로 분열될 때, 하나로 있을 때 다니다가 두 개로 분열되니 불편하지. 분열된 뒤에 거기 처음부터 나온 사람은 아무 문제도 없어요.
So you feel discomfort because you were there at the church when it was one, then it split into two. But somebody else who joined the church after it split will not share the same discomfort.
아니 결혼해서 아기까지 낳은 사람도 이혼하고 사는데 그런 세상에 살면서 그게 뭐가 문제가 돼요?
We have a lot of divorced couples who are raising kids, who get divorced even after having kids, right? And raising kids by themselves and whatnot. So we see separations and divisions, conflicts everywhere. So why is that a special problem?
그것은 어린아이가 부부는 엄마 아빠는 이혼할 이유가 있지만 애는 없잖아요. 그러니까 애는 이혼을 반대하는 거와 같은 거예요.
It's almost as if you're acting like a little kids who are seeing their parents divorce and opposing and being resentful that the parents are divorcing, or the parents themselves might have a good reason to separate.
남한과 북한도 마찬가지예요. 일반인들은 분열할 이유가 없지만은 외국 지배 세력은 늘 분열할 이유가 있는 거예요.
Same thing with North and South Korea. Regular ordinary people actually have no reason to suffer the separations, but the separation does serve a purpose for the ruling elites.
그러니까 목사님에게 물어보거나 장로님에게 물어봐요. 같이 도저히 할 수 없는 이유가 있죠.
So if you actually ask the leadership of your church, whether you want to ask the deacons or actually ask the minister, they will have reasons to separate.
지금 여기서 자기는 뭐 마음이 평화로워 가지고 분열을 싫어하는 게 아니라 자기는 목사나 장로가 아니기 때문에 이게 불편한 거예요.
So you feel discomfort over the split of the church because you're not a deacon or a minister, not because you have this peace in your heart.
아무 문제도 없습니다. 분열하는 거는 그들의 일이고 다니고 안 다니고는 나의 일이고.
So basically, there's no problem here. So whether the church splits or not is their work. It's their scope, right? Their decision. Whether you go to that split church or not is your decision.
오늘 미국에 한국 교회가 수천 개가 있는데 그거 다 분열해서 생긴 거예요.
We have thousands of Korean American churches in the U.S. today, and all these churches are probably split from each other.
자기가 처음 다녔던 그 교회도 그 전에는 어디 딴 데 있다가 분열해서 나왔을 거예요.
And even that church that you went to probably came, resulted from somebody else actually splitting off from another church.
그래서 그 아무 문제도 없는 거예요.
So basically, there's absolutely no problem here.
자기 공부나 잘하세요.
So just stick to your own studies.
그들의 문제는 그들에게 맡기고.
Let their problems be their problems.
One big thing is bothers me. The reason split is previously my church was belonged to United Methodist in New England area. The regulation and policy is the pastor is sent by union, but the pastor is same-sex person, like a gay pastor. So that's why we split. Half member, we don't want to accept the pastor. The other half is okay. But to me, God loves everybody. The gay pastor and straight pastor is all the God's children. But in the church members, those split, that's kind of comedy to me. It's very difficult to me.
이유가 충분히 있는 거예요.
There are plenty of reasons.
우리 옛날에 한국에 사색당정 할 때는 보면 누가 죽었는데 쌍복을 3개월 입어야 되느냐, 6개월 입어야 되느냐, 1년 입어야 되느냐 이래가지고 정치가 분열이 돼서 국가가 망할 위기에 처할 정도인데 뭐 게이를 인정할 거냐 안 할 거냐 그런 거는 충분히 논쟁 동의하고 안 하고 분쟁이 생길 만한 일이에요.
So people make huge things out of the littlest thing, right? In Korean history, actually the whole kingdom almost collapsed because of political dissonance having to do with a split on how long you should be in mourning, how long you should be wearing your shroud, to mourn a loved one. So, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. So there was a huge political scandal, almost brought down the kingdom. So, discussion or splits or difference in opinion over somebody, a pastor being gay or not, that merits a discussion or potential disagreements.
그건 지금 뭐 한 교회가 분열된 게 아니라 교회 전체 크리스찬이 지금 분열돼 있고 미국 정치도 지금 그것 때문에 분열돼 있는데 뭐 교회 하나 분열하는 게 뭐가 그렇게 큰 문제예요?
And this issue actually not just rolling one small church, right? It's actually splitting huge denominations as well as it's still an issue in American politics today.
네, 분열이 좋다는 뜻은 아닙니다.
No, I'm not saying that division or schism is a good thing.
네, 부부는 분열할 이유가 있는데 자식은 왜 분열하는지 모르겠다는 것과 같습니다.
And the same thing, like parents have a reason to divorce from each other, but from a child perspective, they don't understand why.